going to multiply rational expressions, we're also going to throw in dividing rational expressions at the end. So, in order to multiply rational expressions, we first need to factor. We need to factor both the numerator and denominator of both rational expressions. Then we're going to simplify. After we simplify, we need to multiply our numerators together, multiply our denominators together. We want to simplify before we multiply to shorten our work. So if we look at this example, we have 4x squared over 4x squared minus 1 times 2x plus 1 divided by 2x. So I'm first going to factor. This 4x squared is the same thing as 4 times 2. X squared divided by, then we have 4x squared minus 1. So that is a difference of squares, so I'm going to factor that by 2x minus 1 times 2x plus 1. Multiplied by, we can't factor 2x plus 1, so I'm going to put that in parentheses, and 2 times x. Then I need to check my factors of my numerator to see if I can simplify it with any of the factors in my denominator. So my first factor is 4. I know that 4 and 2 can be simplified, so I'm going to divide by 2. Divide by 2. I'll be left with 1 in my denominator and 2 in my numerator. Then my next factor is x squared. X squared divided by x. The x in the denominator cancels, and we're left with x in my numerator. Then I have 2x plus 1. If I'm going to simplify 2x plus 1, in my denominator, I need an entire factor to be 2x plus 1, and I have that, so I'm going to cancel those two. I then multiply my numerator and multiply by my denominator. So my numerator is 2 times x times 1, which is equal to 2x, over my denominator is 2x minus 1 times 1 times 1. So my denominator is 2x minus 1 is my final answer. Sometimes we think that we can cancel these 2x in my numerator and my denominator. The reason we cannot we cannot do that is because our denominator has subtraction in it. So if we are going to cancel anything out of my denominator, that whole 2x minus 1 needs to be canceled. So remember, we must be attached by multiplication to simplify. Then for division, what we're going to do is change it to a multiplication problem, since we already know how to multiply. In order to do that, we keep our first, we change our division sign to multiplication, and we flip our second rational expression. Then we treat it just as a multiplication problem. So I'm going to keep my first, xy squared over, change my division sign to multiplication, and now I'm going to flip my second fraction. So what is in my denominator I'm going to put in my numerator, and what is in my numerator I'm going to put in my denominator. I then want to factor my numerator and denominators. So this is equal to xy squared is already factored. I need to find two numbers that multiply to -2 and add to 1. So I'm going to say 2 and -1. So my two factors are x plus 2, x minus 1. Then I need two numbers that multiply to 6 and add to 5, so I get 2 and 3. So now I have x plus 2 times x plus 3, x cubed y is already factored. Then I need to simplify. So anything in my numerator that is in my denominator, I'm going to reduce this x and x cubed to be 1 and x squared. This y squared and y to be 1 and y. X plus 2 I can cancel with the other x plus 2 to be left with 1 and 1. I cannot simplify x plus 3 with anything, so I'm going to keep it there. I'm going to multiply my numerator, and I have y times x plus 3 over x minus 1 times x squared. That is my answer, and that's it for today.